With me today is Michael Zaradnik, Yosemite Clean's Senior Project Manager and International Contact. Michael has extensive professional experience with Fortune 500 companies on every scale, and he brings an incredible amount of expertise and positivity to the Yosemite Clean Energy team. One of his most important roles is serving as Yosemite Clean's international contact over in Austria, and that will be most of what we dive into today. So just to kind of start us off, if you wouldn't mind giving us a brief overview of your professional experience prior to working for Yosemite Clean.
Yes, thank you for giving me this time to introduce myself. Well, I've formerly been working as an executive for a Korean group, and my job has been to develop markets and set up new businesses and offices and factories, mainly in Eastern Europe and also in parts of Asia. Well, and in this job, I've been extensively traveling, and I've seen all over the world a terrifying, rapidly ongoing destruction of our planet. And our brainless human actions are destroying our climate. And I've seen that our ecosystems are getting destroyed, which I understand that these are the fabric of the life on which we all depend. They are keeping everything together. And during all these travels, I really got very sad, let's call it like that. And our thoughtless waste of fossil fuels, our destruction of nature, and our approach to industry, to food, and especially to disadvantaged humans are irrevocably destroying and exterminating the soil in which our descendants have to live. And often I think myself, which words and arguments should we use later on as an excuse if our descendants ask us why we act like we do it now?
Yeah.
And that really has been, let's say, my thinking, and I realized that I'm a part of this destructive mechanism, and that really depressed me. And so more than 12 years ago now, I started to get interested in renewable energies, how things come together, and especially in the field of production of green natural gas, green electricity, and green hydrogen by fast-growing raw materials such as forestry wood biomass.
Could you expand a little bit on the relationship between Yosemite Clean and the country of Austria?
Yeah, this technology has been developed and optimized in Austria by, as you say, the Technical University of Vienna and by Repotec, which is a Vienna-based engineering company. And since more than 20 years now, both of them are working on implementing this new technology in new projects, on new plans, and of course, on continuously optimizing the systematic and the technology. Repotec, as example, already has designed, engineered, constructed, and successfully commissioned several plants of similar gasification plants, such as Yosemite is planning in Germany, in Sweden, in Japan, France, Italy, and some other countries. And I'm very happy that I've been part of some of these projects. And this very specific know-how is essential. And Yosemite Clean Energy, Repotec, and TU Vienna, they share their know-how for Yosemite's projects in California. But by the way, needless to say, between California and Austria already exists a very bright bridge of knowledge and communication on environmental issues. This bridge has been built by Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, who already, I think, 2006 signed the Global Warming Solutions Act, creating the nation's first cap on greenhouse gas emissions. That was really a huge step. Since then, Governor Schwarzenegger is continuously fighting to save our planet from getting destroyed. And by the way, Mr. Schwarzenegger even has adapted one of his Hummers to run on hydrogen and another one to run on biofuels. So this is really a role leader for me. Lately, Governor Schwarzenegger and his USC team founded the Austria World Climate Summit. encouraging companies from all over the world to contribute their solutions to the climate crisis by publishing them in the showcase, so-called climate action stories. And that's the real bridge between Austria and California, and all citizens from Austria and California are equal proud for this bridge and for the solutions it is providing to the climate.
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned that bright future between California and Austria. And what are some of the benefits of having international contacts, like your role between Yosemite Clean and Austria, as a company that's based in the United States? Like, what are some of the benefits that Yosemite Clean has from having that international connection?
Well, just a few decades ago, maybe 20 or 30 years ago, traveling abroad or communicating with people in other countries was not part of everyday life. Today, however, continents and countries and communities around the world are increasingly connected. Travel is affordable and accessible, and business operate in a global scale, no matter how large. Technology and new transportation options contribute to the accessibility of different places, making our world smaller every day and every hour. Another continent, another country, may be just a few hours away by plane, but easily they are accessible via email, social media, or video conference like ours today. What I'm saying is our climate problems are not local problems. Our climate problems are problems that affect the entire planet. That's why we need to act globally, not locally.
Gotcha. No, that's really insightful. I think it's really important that this needs to be a very holistically addressed issue, since it will affect everyone on this planet. And now this is a bit more broad, but are there any specific environmental leaders you look up to either in Austria or the United States that you think have demonstrated leadership in these issues that we've been talking about?
Oh yes, there are many of them, and they are countless, open speaking, countless. All these environmental leaders understood the fact that just one person standing alone will not be heard. They cannot do anything. But as environmental movement, the voice is very loud. As mentioned, Schwarzenegger is definitely a real role model for environmental issues. I hope to be able to shake his hands in one of these days, just to say thank you on behalf of our planet. And there are so many more of them, such as Jane Goodall. What a great lady. I love her, really. Greta Thunberg, as we say Thunberg. This girl somehow managed to raise millions of youngsters. David Attenborough, with his honest and revealing and urgent messages. Kate Williams, which collected over $300 million as budget for the climate fight. And Robert Redford, who stands for social responsibility and involvement in climate issues. And there's so many countless others, but yet not enough.
Yeah, do you think there is enough environmental leaders like Governor Schwarzenegger who talk about biofuels and include renewable energy in their environmental movement? Or do you think that a lot of leaders are focused on other things and don't really shed enough light on renewable energy and biofuel as an answer?
This is really my personal problem to say. Our leaders, they focus on the short target of politics and their parties. And that really breaks the world, because our political leaders are not going for what is best for the country or best for the world. They just go what is the best for the party, and they are not doing enough for the world. They are thinking too small-minded, only to their own regulations and their own targets of their political party.
Yeah, so you see biofuels and like the movement that Governor Schwarzenegger has been on as more of like a long-term solution that will provide, economic resources and answers to our climate problems. That's more of like a long-term solution versus these short-term goals you're mentioning, right?
Yes, I think that biofuels, green energy, and all these things need some higher force than just politics. They need the people. They need the mass of the people which stand up and say, we have to do something for this planet. And I believe that the parties the political leaders are looking too much short term, as you say, but the target which we have is to heal this planet, and that's a real long way to go because we destroyed already so much of it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And so, with your work that you're doing moving forward, what are your next steps as Yosemite Clean Energy's international contact and senior project manager? Where do you see yourself working towards?
I need to spread the message to all of them out there who still believe in the old economy of fossil fuels and waste. We need to create a network of communication and information available to all humans and companies who are interested in. I believe that many people want to help to heal the planet, but we just have to show them how to contribute to this target. Yosemite Clean Energy is just one of those who try to do the right thing, but at least we are doing something. That's really very, very important.
Yeah.
Everybody has to do something.
Yeah, I definitely think it's, one action is amazing, but if we can all work collectively, really make the biggest difference. And I know I had one more question. I was wondering if you could shed a little bit of insight onto the differences between how Europe manages their forests and biomass versus the United States.
In Europe, we have a whole bunch of different countries with different legislation, with different opinions and different approach to forest and to forest management and to biomass and to green energy. We have sometimes totally different opinions and ways and legislations. The one is saying it's good, the other one says bad, the third one says it's forbidden, and the fourth one says it's a legal requirement. So we don't have, let's say, an even area where everybody understands the same. In Austria, we have a lot of wind power and water power, so we don't need so much forest management. In Germany, we have a lot of land for agriculture. So also here, forest management is important. Of course, it's very important, but it's not like in the United States, in California, where you have all these wildfires with these huge forest problems. So here, there's not a single strategy. It's a very splattered strategy all over the continent.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think that there's a certain country that's leading the biofuel movement and the renewable energy movement, or one country that really sets a good example within that?
Germany, of course, is really leading this, but Germany is going to approach through wind power and solar panels, solar power. Austria would be able to follow that, but Austria, we have so much power because we have so much water, and we have the big mountains and we have snow and we have a lot of rivers, so we don't need to follow that approach. Besides Germany, I think Europe is not doing enough. I hope that California is doing quite a lot in future with our projects.
Yeah, definitely. We'll keep it down over here in California for you, Michael. Well, I just wanted to say thank you. It was really great, getting to know your role in the company a bit better, as well as your insight into renewable energies and biofuel in general. And I just appreciate your time and you answering questions for us. And I think that this will be a great way for our listeners to get a little bit more insight into the company's relationship between the technology and Austria as well.
Let me quote my Austrian California-based governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, who said a very, very important sentence. He said, "We can't wait for our political leaders. We need the bottom-up approach. We need the people." So that's actually what we really should try.
No, definitely. Those are words of wisdom right there. Great way to end the meeting. Well, once again, really appreciate your time, Michael, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.